Welcome back to the morning show. It is Wise Guy Wednesday. So Matt Sellon, your physics professor, is here talking about the physics of chocolate. What better way to kick off a Wednesday morning?
I know. This is wonderful. And it was all your idea.
It was, yeah.
And it's wonderful. Before we get any further, I should say that I want to say congratulations to the kids at Atwood Junior High who graduated last night, and to whom Elizabeth from there, which I can thank for these little balloons that we're going to use, and Emma and Caitlin and all kinds of people who were very nice, and also were thrilled about seeing chocolate today.
I'm sure.
But anyways, so chocolate is interesting in that you can actually observe at kind of normal temperatures a phase transition.
Really?
And a phase transition is like melting, for example. So you know, when ice melts into water, that happens at 0 degrees.
Right.
And it's interesting because it takes a lot of heat in order for ice to turn into water. So if you have ice water sitting in a jug on the table, it'll stay at 0 degrees until all the ice is gone. All the heat that flows into that container just goes to melt the ice, but it doesn't change the temperature. Chocolate is the same way, and it took a while, so I didn't want to try to do it on the air, but I started with a bunch of hunks of chocolate here, and it's all melted now. And the way I heated it up was I just heated it up by putting in this warm water.
Okay.
And you can guess what the melting point of chocolate is, because you know if it's sitting on the table, it's not melted, and you know if you pop it into your mouth,
not in your hand.
it melts. Exactly right. And so it does melt at sort of body temperature, which is, you know, 90, 100 degrees, but below that it's a solid. And so when I started to heat this up, it took a very long time. All the little chunks in there got smaller and smaller, and eventually it was a liquid. Now, the interesting thing with, just like in ice, chocolate has this property that it has latent heat, which means that when it's a solid, it takes heat. Yeah, so take a bite or take a piece, put it in your mouth, and sort of suck on it. You guys can't see this out there, but what you actually experience...
You're not going to stick your tongue out and show them?
When you eat chocolate, Mr. Chocolate always feels a little cool in your mouth. There's a reason for that. It's not that it's cold when it's sitting on the table and it's cold when you put it in your mouth. It's because as it melts, it absorbs heat from its surroundings, and the surroundings of the chocolate when it's in your mouth is your mouth. Okay, so that's why chocolate always tastes cool. It's called latent heat of fusion, and it's because it actually takes a lot of heat to melt something, and that comes from the surroundings, which is your mouth.
Okay.
Okay.
So what are we doing here? Okay,
so what we're doing here is we have this melted chocolate, and and chocolate has this nice property, like I said, that it has a melting point which is rather well defined. And so what we can do, first of all, it's very easy to melt, just a little warm water that we set this bowl into.
Right.
And we can take something that's been sitting out, like these strawberries, which I washed very carefully, by the way.
Good.
Okay. And we can put these into the chocolate. And...
It's a lot of chocolate on that strawberry, Matt.
Well, yeah. You got to have strawberry.
You got to make sure.
That's right. And I'm going to put them on these bowls. And what we're going to do is now this is going to solidify. It's going to release the heat that's in there as it solidifies, okay? And by the time we come back, all these are going to have a nice hard coating of chocolate on them.
So you don't necessarily have to put it in the refrigerator to get the chocolate to harden?
You do not have to put them in the fridge. It's enough to let them cool. Now, I may stick these in the fridge for a little while so they do it quickly, because we only have, you know, half an hour.
Right.
But we're also going to make little chocolate cups, because we're going to have like a little dessert party here with whipped cream and stuff. So you can take these balloons, little balloons, and you can cover them in chocolate like this.
And then don't eat the balloon.
Right. And then what we'll do
We'll find out what he's going to do with these coming up.
Right. And then we're going to pop those balloons later, and we'll be left with this sort of empty chocolate cup.
Oh, interesting.
And then when we come back, we'll talk about why chocolate is so popular, why it kind of makes you feel good, and why you should never give it to your dog.
Oh, good. Good advice. All right, we're here with Matt Sellon, our wise guy. We'll be back with him in about 30 minutes. If you have any questions for him and what he's doing, you can always email us at themorningshow@wcia.com or log on to his website, wiseguy.net.